Day 2 in the books. Late night video. What time is it right now? It is 12:18. Hi. What is up, Finn fans? Day 2 is in the books. It happened earlier today. Again, it is, like I said, 12:18 as I'm recording this. You guys will probably get around 12:30. You might see it in the morning. You might not. If you do, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. We're going to go over essentially the top performers, in my opinion, and some others' opinions, of day 2 among the defensive backs and the tight ends. And the Dolphins, from what my understanding is, they only met with one person. Just one. They obviously met with more than just one person, but I only know about one person because that's all that was brought up and said to anyone. And obviously we will look at the top 40 times and verts and all that other stuff when it comes to the secondary and the tight ends, because the Dolphins need some secondary help. And one guy jumped out that I kind of like better than Starks, Malachi. I called him Malik. I apologize. Malachi Starks. So without me rambling on anymore, because some of you guys really hate when I ramble, let's just real quick look at the top performers for today. We'll just go into today's performers. Can I click on more than one? Is that possible? No, it's not. Okay, so we'll just go into all. All, as you can see here, the top guy was Maxwell Hairston. Ran a 4.28. He's the fastest at the combine as of now. Again, the wide receivers have not gone yet. Darian Porter's behind him with a 4.3. Caleb Ransaw with a 4.33. Now, among tight ends, the fastest was Terrence Ferguson. He had a good day. It's not on my list, but he had a good day. Joshua Simmons, 4.65. Terrence Ferguson with a 4.63. CJ Dupree from Alabama, 4.69. And Gavin Bartholomew. I will get these. When I do my prospect video on each of these positions, I promise you, I will get every single name on my top 5 of that position down pat. I promise you that. We're in a 4.7. Corners, obviously, you saw who was the fastest. It was mostly the fastest were here. Jacob Parrish with a 4.35. Zay Frazier with a 4.36. These corners were fast. Like, if the receivers are fast, the corners are fast. And you could just see. Now, Travis Hunter didn't run, so obviously we're not going to see Travis Hunter on here. But they 4.28, 4.3, 4.33, 4.35, 4.36. To make it in the NFL as a corner, you have to be fast. Have to. And then you're looking at the safeties here. They're still fast too. Marquez Siegel. I said I will. 4.37. Nick Manwari. Nick Manwari. I think I got that one right. South Carolina, 4.38. Crawford with a 4.41. Bowman Jr. with a 4.42. He had a good day. Billy Bowman Jr. out of Oklahoma. He had a good day. 4.42. Andrew Makuba 4.45. I feel horrible. Just a fun fact. Has nothing to do with this because we're going to start talking about players. I used to be a substitute teacher. I wanted to be a teacher. I double majored in biology and education, and I dreaded doing roll call when I was a substitute teacher. I was a high school substitute teacher. I dreaded doing roll call because I am dyslexic. I can't read on a good day. And then I got to pronounce some of these names. And I'm like, ugh. And they're always like, it's pronounced Aaron. And I'm like, I thought it was Aaron. See who gets that joke. So let's jump into some of my and other people's top performers. Now, number 1 on my list, and again, my lists aren't really like most important, least important. It's just kind of as I'm sitting there jotting and saving things and looking at video and all that stuff. Nick Manwari. That man, South Carolina safety, 6'3", 220, put up great. He didn't do any drills. right? Didn't do any drills. He didn't need to do any drills. He ran a 4.3840. Let me give you these numbers in perspective of performance percentage, because ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Let me just pull this up. This is from Trevor Sikama. Just ridiculous. Look at this. This is his 40. I just want you to watch this. 4.38. You might say to yourself, Doug, that's not as fast as the other guys you named. He is 6'3", 220 pounds. He had a 43-inch vert and an 11'6" broad jump. And you can see here, 97th percentile when it comes to his height, 92nd percentile when it comes to his weight, 98th percentile when it comes to his vert, 98th percentile when it comes to his broad jump, and 94th percentile when it comes to his 40-yard dash. I am starting to like him more than Starks. Now, Starks didn't have a great vert, and he struggled, time to time with his speed. He ran a 4.5, again, not as fast as a 4.38, but I'm starting to lean, like heavily lean towards a Manwari. I'm really liking him out of South Carolina. Now, at 13, maybe there are people saying that he could be at 13, and then there are other people who are saying that he might be an early second, late first type trade down situation, but I am really liking him if the Dolphins can grab him. I like his height, and I like his speed and his weight. Again, 6'3", 220 pounds, and he ran a 4.38. You kidding me? Really like that one. Then you have Jahdae Barron, the Texas corner. He's a 5'10", 194. He ran a 4.3940. He's small, but his numbers made up for that. Again, the 40s and all that stuff. He's the same height and everything as McDuffie, who is on the Kansas City Chiefs, but he ran faster. McDuffie ran a 4.44. He ran a 4.39. So they have the same body type. Again, on the smaller side, you're looking at a 5'10", 194, and you got to worry about these big guys like DK Metcalf, Brown, all these big receivers getting physical with these shorter corners. McDuffie, same body type, but was a little bit slower. So, Jahdae Barron, Texas corner, he had a good day. Another guy who, in my opinion, had a good day, and I didn't see a lot of people. I saw a lot of people on Twitter talk about him in the aspect of like his play and stuff. Let me pull up kind of some of his stuff just to give you guys an idea of who I'm talking about, because I don't know if you, his name isn't talked a lot amongst the Dolphin community, his last name. It's not very popular, but this guy here.
Dart of a line.
Oh, man. Mason Taylor. Look at his catching. He looks like his dad. Now, if you don't know, Mason Taylor's dad is Jason Taylor, and his uncle is Zach Thomas. So this man right here has two of the greats of Miami Dolphin history DNA in him, in Jason Taylor and in Zach Thomas. Like, great hands. Now, he didn't run 40. He didn't do a broad jump. He didn't do any of that stuff. But his on-the-field drills were great. Now, he's 6'5", 251. Great on-the-field drills. Great movement. Obviously, you saw the video I just posted. Great catching. All that stuff. Now, obviously, you have Warren as like the number one tight end. And then you have some, Gadsden's son, who's also a very good option at tight end. There's a lot of good tight ends in this class. Mason Taylor, I don't know if he's going to go in the first, right? I don't know. Again, there's still a pro day and there's still a lot of stuff before I start talking draft prospects and all that stuff in April. April's when I start doing my mocks and I start doing all that stuff. And we kind of have a better idea of where they could go. Mason Taylor, I don't know if he'll be a first round pick, like a late first or whatever, but if the Dolphins took him in the second round, I would not be upset. I really like what I see out of Mason Taylor. Again, he didn't run a 40, he didn't do the broad jump, he didn't do the vert, he didn't do any of that stuff, but he did do the on the field drills, and he did really well. And I liked what I saw out of him. So again, if we could bring Mason Taylor back and have, again, Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas combined into one person, you got Mason Taylor there. I'd be happy with that. Then the fastest guy of the day, Maxwell Hairston, out of Kentucky, cornerback, 5'11", 179 at the Senior Bowl, gained 4 pounds, is now at 183, ran a 4.28. Right? He had a 39.5-inch vert. He had a 10-foot 9-inch broad jump, fluid hips, stood out, smooth catching radius, very, very good movement. And that's what you want to see out of these guys, is those hips. And, you know, they do the drill where they backpedal, then they go the one way, and then they go the other way, and then they turn around, they got to catch the ball. It's what you want to see out of their hips. It's all in the hips. Very, very good day for him, and obviously he was the fastest guy so far in the combine, running a 4.28. I don't know when he'll be selected. Again, the Dolphins kind of do need a corner too. Will they do it in free agency with the likes of CJ Reed, who's going to cost a lot of money, or go in a different direction? That's all what we'll find out in this upcoming month today. As of me recording this, it's now officially March 1st, which is pretty cool. So free agency, baby. But that's why free agency is first and then the draft second. So we'll see what the Dolphins address and if corner is that big of a need that they might take a Maxwell or not. But he had a very good day, Then a tight end I want to talk about because I like him. Reason put him on to me. And I like him, but he's kind of on the slower side. And it's Gunnar Helm out of Texas, right? He ran a 4.84. Now, I'm not saying that's slow, like offensive lineman slow, like a 5, whatever. He's big, 6'5", 241. I like what I saw out of him. Again, his on the field stuff is really good. I will show you a video again that Reason showed to me. Where is it? Of Gunnar at his time at Texas, and it kind of reminded me of Jonnu. Now, again, Jonnu's faster, but I really like what I saw out of Gunnar here. Now, this is what Reason had to say about Gunnar. Reason said, the guy I'm watching today test at tight end, one of my draft man crushes is Gunnar Helm, complete tight end, who offers good playability after the catch, can play in line through contact, and is smooth, fluid athlete. Big fan of him as an option for Miami. I will have Reason on and also have Broshmo on to help me during April talk about a lot of these prospects. We're going to talk it up and kind of give you guys all the information we possibly can. But this is Gunnar Helm. And when I saw this play, dumps it off to Gunnar. Watch this. Like I said, you got Gunnar Helm. You have obviously Warren, but I don't think the Dolphins will take him at 13. They might not. Gunnar, you have Taylor, you have Gadsden, there's a lot of tight ends that the Dolphins could take that they don't need to possibly take at 13. But again, with Mason Taylor, is he a first round talent? Will he fall? A lot of us fans get really hyped into these guys, and we think like, oh, they're first round talent, and then they start to fall. Like DK Metcalf, I remember during his combine, and you know, he was jacked and stuff, and all the stuff he did, everyone's like, oh, DK, and then he fell and he went into the second round. A lot of us are liking what we saw out of Mason Taylor. A lot of us are liking what we saw out of Maxwell Hairston, and you know, all these numbers and stuff, and they might fall because it might not be what teams are looking for. So, you know, we have, us as fans and not in the front offices of NFL teams, have these players at certain standards and think like, oh, like I know every time I do a mock draft, he's not going to be there at this time. We don't know that. So you never know. Dolphins might be able to get a Mason Taylor in the second round and still get best player available at 13, or even possibly trade down, because that 13 spot, from what I'm hearing, is a sweet spot. And it's a very good spot to be in, because from what I heard, and Omar Kelly talked to his guy, there's like 17 to 20 first round talents in this draft. So again, that 13 spot, you could probably trade down, pick up some extra draft picks, and still get a good guy. So there's that. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. The Dolphins only met with one guy as of me knowing, and that's Xavier Restrepo. Yes, I definitely said his name right. The wide receiver out of Miami. He met with the Dolphins wide receiving coach. He didn't meet with Mike McDaniel. Said he had a good meeting. Obviously, the Dolphins probably met a ton of quarterbacks, a ton of wide receivers. That's probably why Restrepo met with the wide receiving coach and not Mike McDaniel, because possibly Mike McDaniel's meeting with quarterbacks. I don't know. I don't put too much into who the Dolphins meet when it comes to these prospects because, again, you know, with Tua, he met with Brian Flores. He said he had a horrible time and they drafted him. You never know how things are going to happen. Or players will say, I never met with the Dolphins and they took me. So you never know how all this stuff is going to pan out. But comment below. Let me know, day 2, who do you like? Who's your safety of choice between Starks and a Manwari? Who's your choice? Who's your choice at tight end between Taylor, between Helm, between Warren, between, you know, Gadsden? Who's yours? Comment below. Let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow is quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. We get to see how these guys do. The fast quarterbacks, fast receivers, fast running backs. Obviously, Cam Ward isn't throwing. Shador Sanders isn't throwing or doing anything. I don't think, I'm trying to think of anyone else who's not doing anything. I don't think many of the top, I don't think Ashton Genty's doing anything. We'll find out. I know Damian Martinez. I'm very interested in seeing how he does. Cam Scatabo, I want to see how he does. I'd love to add him to the Dolphins. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. Everyone's up.